Hi, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Tai Chi For You. We're wrapping up March. The old saying, April showers bring May flowers. We've had plenty of rain in March, so let's look forward to maybe some flowers coming up pretty soon here. Also in April, I've been talking to a few, lining up some guests. So we're going to have some repeat guests and maybe some new guests. We're just working on getting everyone's calendar so they can come in. So that'll be exciting. The other thing I want to mention, I just happened to pick up a copy of the Plumber's Corner News. And this is where the Monday Tai Chi class is. But the you wouldn't believe what they offer. I mean, the calendar's full, and this isn't even everything they offer. These are just the classes and the workshops. They talk about, there's exercising classes, there's chair exercise classes, as well as the yoga, Tai Chi, some stretching. There's card games, board games. They have 2 great pool tables up there. Other groups, you can learn how to play the ukulele if you want. There's all kinds of classes for that. And then they do something else, sort of like a lunch and learn program. Yeah, that's what they call it, the lunch and learn program. So get down to the Northbridge Senior Center and check that out. It's a great place. It is really, there's a computer. You want to learn how to use your smartphone. They have a class for that. So just bring your questions, bring your phone down, and they'll do their best to help you with that. So that's what I wanted to talk about, I guess, for sort of get things out of the way before we talk about just Tai Chi. So let me just put that in the file, and we can start. So when we talk about Tai Chi, think of it as, it's called a moving meditation. And meditation, just that word alone, sort of makes me think of slowing down. And it's fine to slow down. You wouldn't believe what you can sense or pick up or see that you didn't see before just in life. You're generally running around and you don't notice that maybe a car for sale, that someone's looking for a car and you saw it, or whatever. You're just looking through a paper. Take your time, look through it. And like I was doing with that senior center newsletter, you look through it twice and you see things that you didn't catch the first time. So that idea of getting back to using that idea with the Tai Chi, it's a moving meditation. The idea is to connect to self. And we go over this in class, but I think when I have the time to talk about it and repeat it and hear it again and again, it'll start to get it. We talk about that aha moment. And we had one student this week have an aha moment, practicing the wave hands like clouds that we do in the 24 form of Tai Chi that we practice. I also had an aha moment with how I teach. And it all goes back to the basics when we talk about the masters master the basics. That finally, I'm starting to get the reasoning behind that, where, yeah, they could do it. They've done it 5,000 times, but they'll do it another 5,000 times and get something out of it. So you're always going to get something out of any, I don't even like saying a workout of Tai Chi, just a session maybe. We'll call it like that. So the idea is, when we were shifting that weight, really try to separate what's happening with each leg. and we call it heavy foot, light foot, and that 60-40 principle. So when the weight does go over to one leg, the idea is that this is stable, this is grounded, this is the leg that's connected to the earth, to the chi. And the opposite leg is going to have that ability to, we call it a half step. It just comes in nice and easy. Or you can step up and out, or it can turn into a low kick or a step back. So that's the think of that yin and yang. So if one's heavy, one's light. Then as soon as the move is completed, if it's a step out, now that weight shift is going to have to go onto that foot. So there's that weight shift onto what was the light foot. So now that's the one that's grounded, that's connected, that's stable. So this foot becomes the light foot now, and that has some options of stepping up, stepping out, coming up and do a kick. And then once, whatever position you do, if it's just a step out, then you go to that weight shift and it goes on to this foot. And I think that helped some of the new people when they're trying to memorize or figure out what's next. It almost comes natural, is, I guess, the point I was trying to make with teaching them that. One of the practice moves that we do, we call it Tai Chi walking. And again, we slow it down, and the idea is the heavy foot, the light foot is just going to walk, but we land on the heel. Then the weight shifts onto the ball of the foot, the front of the foot. Now that becomes grounded. So this foot naturally is just going to be light, and now it's going to be the heavy foot. So when we practice it, it's step up, together, and stop. Now make this the grounded foot, the light foot, opposite foot, together, and stop. And then it's that heel toe stepping out, weight transfer, light foot comes up, boom, heavy foot, light foot, steps out and comes up. And then we just repeat it going backwards. And this where it could be a little tricky, where we're learning how to balance. We visualize we're actually holding on to maybe a rail, or if you had, a cane, or if there was a, table, long tables on both sides of you. So you could just slide your hand, and we're keeping the back straight, keeping the knees slightly bent, shoulders are relaxed, elbows are out just a little bit, and we just practice this move. It doesn't have to be done fast. We learn things slow. The saying is so you can execute fast. So if you did have to move back quickly in a whatever situation it is, either, forward or backwards, you're going to automatically go into that nice, grip of the earth and release, and that bounce up and connect solid. So if there was any side to side movement or whatever, all these things, even if it was just a normal day walking and you stumble over a tree stump or a root or something like that, you're going to be able to compose your posture and get back to that center and continue on. So all these little things, any exercise is going to help you in life. That idea of just sitting on the couch or staying indoors. Try to get, I know it's been rainy and cold and we saw snow the other day, all that, but try to, get the highest temperature of the day. Maybe that's the best time to just get out and walk up and down. Just go up and down your driveway, in your yard, whatever. Just the walking, it's just the benefits. It's like I say, the benefits of Tai Chi. There's, books on how it helps with the arthritis. It helps with the breathing, helps with the blood flow, all that. So that was kind of my topic. I want to have you keep that in the back of the mind when we continue on with what we're going to talk about tonight. So let's get into our mountain pose. And we've talked about this before. Visualize, tall as a mountain. We're not rushing through it. We're starting to feel that grounding, that idea of connected, okay? Now, the next move we talk about is the horse stance. And all that is a heavy foot, light foot steps out, and we get into our horse stance. It's just as though you were riding a horse. So knees are slightly bent, and we're just relaxed with that elongated spine. Tuck the chin in just a little bit. Good. And everybody, this is what's great about learning something new. You start to master the moves, but you can always go deeper with it. But everybody's pretty confident on mountain. And from the first mountain they've ever done to the one that they've done 500, 5,000 times, it's fine-tuned and it's a little bit deeper. It's not, you don't get bored with Tai Chi. It's always, it's an internal martial art. So you're really connecting to yourself more and learning more about your mind-body connection. So mountain, horse stance. Take a nice breath in, breath out. Get comfortable, get into that horse stance. Then that opening move. And we talked about this. It's a basic up, in, and down. But once you practice it 5 times, 500 times, 5,000 times, you really start to feel every part of the body is connected. You feel it in your core. You feel it, in the back. The lungs are expanding, the diaphragm. All the internal organs are starting to wake up, getting that chi flowing, just like that. Now we're going to go back to what we talked about, that weight shift. So there's the heavy foot. Light foot this time is what's called a half step in. We still stay on that heavy foot. The other foot is the light foot. The option is going to be step up and out, land on that heel. Now when the weight shift starts to happen, because we completed the movement on it, so now that foot becomes the heavy foot. As we shift the weight, turn the body, drop that top hand, that bottom hand comes up and out just a little bit. So, kind of threw that at you for the brand new people. The idea is if one hand's up, one hand is down. And there's that flow that happens. Then they switch. Then they come up and down, up and down. So if we can master these first few moves, it's going to make the rest of them easier to remember or flow into them. So let's get into our mountain pose. We have some nice mountains here. And just relax. Don't rush into it. Try to think of just that nanosecond of what's going to happen next. So I'm kind of going through that checklist of posture, breathing, relaxed, making that left foot the heavy foot. So I'm stepping out, and now I know it's into the horse stance. And then it goes right into that opening move of up, in, and down. Then there's that weight shift. The turn the body, the heavy foot, light foot completes. There's the weight shift onto it as the body turns and the hands separate. Now the weight shift goes back onto that foot, and all this does this time is just at like a 45 degree. But now I'm going to put the weight onto it and turn the body, not moving the arms, they're moving because the torso is moving. And that light foot steps up, and there's our hold the ball left hand high. It's still the light foot. It's going to have the option of stepping up and out on the heel. Weight shift is going to happen. There's the shift the weight, turn the body. There's the hand down, hand up. There's our weight shift. There's the option. There's that 45. There's the weight shift, the turning the body. There's the step up, step out. There's our hand down, hand up. That's something you want to practice and get really good at. That is about the speed that Tai Chi is done. Sometimes it is easier to learn what's next. But by learning it correctly the first time, it's so you don't have to change it and then try to learn it by going slow. That's why I'm saying just use your mind, that idea of that nanosecond of what's coming next. So it's going to happen. It's called the flow. It's going to happen right as that move is finishing. You're on to the next move. And there really isn't a stop in between each move. It just flows into that next move. So we can continue on. You guys are starting to get it now? Okay. The next move is a brush knee and push, and it has the same principle. And the name really says it all. There's that stepping out, and it turns into a brush knee, and there's the push. And with the arms, there's that, well, the legs as well, that 60-40 principle. I'm not overextending. I'm not locking my elbow down. So we'll go right into the brush knee and push if we got enough room. Okay, here's our mountain. And then we begin as we step out. And then we do our opening move. I'm thinking it goes right into that hold the ball. And then it goes right into, this is called parting the wild horse's mane. There's our weight shift. And see how something happened with the foot? The weight shift happens. The body turns. The arms separate. Again, remember to breath in, breath out. And the transition move is what's called a toe tap. So we end it with a nice easy toe tap. And then we come into the brush knee and push. The heavy foot, the light foot goes out to the side. So when we turn the body, it becomes a brush knee and push. I'm not really swinging my arms everywhere to, I'm brushing off like that. The brush comes from the turning the body. But there's that weight shift onto the back foot. We're still using that 45 as a pivot. We're still coming up and stepping out with a brush knee and push with the torso moving like that. So this is really how we break it down in class, and we practice it as we put it together. I kind of use the analogy of if you were ever in like a school band and the song starts out great, everybody has their part, And towards the middle, it might sound a little sour, but everybody's racing towards the end because they know those last 4 or 5 notes at the end, and it all comes together good. So that's kind of where we are in class right now. We have a great beginning. Everybody knows. And then the middle gets a little wishy-washy with the moves. And those are I don't want to say a little tougher moves, but there's just, don't overthink it. And then the ending, we have everybody, it's a great ending with the 24 form. But the idea is not to overthink it. So, just like the wave hands like clouds when we were going over that with the new students. The simple part is a hand on a hip, and it doesn't matter. And we're going to, right to the basics, that shift the weight, turn the body. And it's only like that 60-40. So there isn't don't overdo anything. It's just that shift and turn, and see how the arm comes over. All the arm does for a move, it comes up. And there's my shift the weight, turn the body. And then the arm goes down. So that's up, over, and down. And you want to visualize or start to feel some resistance. They say just if you were in water and I'm trying to push my hand through water, that little resistance, and now I'm up, and now I want to push my way through. Or if you want to imagine maybe a little rubber band, a little drag, and I'm trying to pull that band, and now I'm trying to push the weight down under the water. Swing over, just like that. And if you go fast, yeah, you might be able to do it, but you start to lose the form of it and the connection, the grounding, the connecting to the earth chi. So then try the other arm, up, over. Now notice how it's coming over because the waist, the core is moving. The arm is it's getting that free ride to come over. All the arm is doing is this the whole time. Back over, up, over, and down. Feel that little resistance, cutting through, pushing down, coming through, pushing down, just like that. When we put both arms together, this is, again, that mind-body connection. So don't overthink it. We start out. We can go just like this. Don't forget the bottom hand. That's what happens a lot of times. So bring it with you when the core moves. And there's our up and down. And then they both come across. I see it a lot of times, and I was guilty of it. I bring this because I'm focusing. I'm looking at this. Now what happens when I try to, this one's supposed to be over here to go like this. So bring them both. If you want to think of how maybe and I use the example like a puppeteer guy. There's a rod tied to you with strings, and they're both coming across. And then the string will drop and the string will rise. And then they'll come across, and then they'll twist that stick or the bar, come across. Keep the back nice and straight. Just like that. 1, 2, 3. Now you notice I didn't do anything with the legs. We're just practicing the hands to get confident with that. What the feet do, it's all that basic idea of stepping out with the light foot, shifting the weight, bringing it in. There's the weight shift, stepping out, weight shift, light foot comes in. Now watch, it drops, and this one becomes light, so it can step out. out, in. And now when we add the hands with that, so I'm stepping out and there's the wave. I'm stepping in, and I use the term reload to get back over to here. And then there's that step out with the wave. Step in to reload one more time. Step out and wave and reload. When you practice, you do get better. There really isn't anything as a bad form. You're just always improving on your form. So I can teach it, but I don't want you to just copy, because everybody's body's a little bit different. You might be, a little stiffer in certain days, certain parts of your body, and you just don't feel that flow, that connection. But once you warm up and you get into the rhythm, and that mind can take over, and your body's not worrying about how fast do I drop, which hand is up, which hand is down, and you got the breathing down pat, and that weight shift happens automatically. That's how it goes, just like that. So the last move I'll show you real quick is another sort of transition move, and we call it the beak. So we, again, visualize like a beak. There's our weight shift. There's our turning the body, which brings his hand over. It tucks in tight. That's a whip. Here's our move with the light foot. It does step out. And there's our weight shift with the arm coming out like that. So all these moves, it's a complete body workout when you do the 24 form. It's a nice way to really open up the lungs, get the arms, get the tendons, everything stretching. It's a low impact. A lot of people, their doctors tell them, find a Tai Chi class. Hopefully that's something. Next time you go to the doctor, ask them if you've ever heard of Tai Chi, maybe is a beneficial class that you could take to help you with your aches and pains or internal. So until next time, April's right around the corner. We got some guests coming on. If you know anybody that wants to be on the show that does yoga, does another Tai Chi instructor, I'd love to have another one come on and talk. So until next time, it's Tai Chi for you.